Hey guys, so I am back with another Total Divas Season 9 review. This review is for episode 4. If you did not catch my reviews for episodes 1 through 3, please go check those out. So this episode starts with Monday Night Raw, and Ronda Rousey is in the ring and she's cutting a promo on Stephanie McMahon, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair to get the momentum going for their WrestleMania match. Now, I thought that Ronda actually did a good job on this promo. I felt like she was being more of a heel in this promo. She was able to convey being a heel better than she was able to be a babyface, because when she first got to WWE, she was a babyface. She had a feud with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H alongside Kurt Angle, and although I thought that was a really good storyline, I think that Ronda does way better as a heel. And so this promo was actually a good one that she did. I felt like she did a better job. She wasn't stumbling over her words the way she was when they were giving her the scripted babyface promos when she first got to WWE. So she was excited that she was able to be a heel. And so she goes backstage and she seems like she's excited about her promo that she cut. And Nia Jax is mad at her because of whatever it was that Ronda said in the ring. And I don't understand why she was offended by it, because the point of a promo is to get the momentum going for your storyline. It's able to show the story between the two people and why they have an issue with one another and really get the tension going up for the match. So I didn't understand why Nia was pissed off about it. She knows the business. I don't understand why she was so mad. And so she was saying that the reason why she was pissed off and mad is because she felt like Ronda was disrespecting the women in the business that laid the groundwork for her to even be able to be in WWE. And I didn't get that from Ronda Rousey's promo. I don't know if anybody else did, but I didn't get that from it. So I didn't understand what Nia was talking about. And so Ronda runs up to Nia and she tries to talk to her, but Nia kind of shoves her off and just walks away. And so Ronda looks confused and she looks a little bit hurt, and she goes to Natty and she tells Natty that Nia's mad at her and she got pissed off at her because of her promo she cut in the ring. And even Natty was confused about it, and she was saying how Nia hasn't been acting like herself lately. Nia's been snapping at everybody, because we saw that she had snapped at Carmella and then she kind of snapped at Natty a little bit. And so it was just like Nia's acting in a way that is rubbing a lot of the other people the wrong way. And so even I was confused about that whole situation, but we'll see what ends up happening between the two of them. Backstage at SmackDown Live, Trinity says that she wants to plan a little girls' vacation with some of the ladies in her hometown of Pensacola, Florida, especially for the Iiconics, because she said that the Iiconics are really homesick. They miss Australia because they've been in the U.S. this whole time while working, staying in Orlando. And so she wanted to take the ladies to Pensacola to try to plan some type of girls trip in order for the Iiconics to feel more happy and relaxed and less stressed out. And so I thought it was nice of Trinity to want to do that for them. And so she was saying how she wanted to try to plan a really good trip, because usually the Bella twins are the ones who plan all the girls' trips and they do such a good job, but the Bellas are no longer on the road with the ladies anymore. So she feels like she wants to keep the traditions going. And so she rents this big, beautiful beach house for the ladies, and it's her, Liv Morgan, Charlie, Nia Jax, and the Iiconics that are going to be in the house for the Pensacola beach trip. Meanwhile, Carmella can't go to the girls' trip because she's spending a few days in Danbury, Connecticut with Corey, so that she can experience his hometown and see his apartment and be able to get some quality time with him, because she's unable to really get that time with him because of the fact that their busy schedules are so hectic. And so she's excited to go, but she was saying how she was nervous to go to his hometown because there's going to be people there that he knows and people there that were a part of his old life, and she doesn't want to run into them and start to feel uncomfortable because they're going to be assuming things that aren't true because of all the things that went on social media a few weeks prior to this, where his ex-wife had went onto social media and tried to basically paint her as a homewrecker, and she was getting all types of death threats. So I can understand why Carmella's nervous about going. I'd be nervous about going too because of something like that, but I also feel like if Carmella doesn't stop worrying so much about what everybody thinks about her relationship with Corey, it's not going to end up working out, because at some point, if she doesn't stop, Corey's going to get sick and tired of it and he may leave, because they already have these stressful jobs with these hectic schedules, and the last thing they need is more drama in their relationship too. John and Trinity talk about Trinity's trip for the girls, and she shows him the house that she's renting in Pensacola for the ladies. And John is so funny. John and Trinity together, I love their relationship. They're so flirty, they're so goofy with one another, and I think it's really cute. And so he was telling her that he doesn't understand why she's planning a trip in Pensacola, Florida, to try to get the Iconics to not be homesick anymore when Pensacola, Florida is not Australia. And so he didn't see the point of it, but Trinity was trying to let him know that she was going to make it comfortable for the Iconics so that they can enjoy themselves and forget about being homesick. So hopefully Trinity's good deed ends up going well, but we'll see what happens. Ronda is on the phone with Travis, and she seems like she's really hurt and defeated because of the fact that she feels like somehow she's been offending people. Sonya was offended with her a few weeks prior because of her calling her a hobbyist after Sonya had made a post about her on social media. And then now the situation with Nia Jax, when Nia Jax is offended by something she said in her promo, she just feels like she's being misunderstood and that some of the ladies are starting not to like her and that they feel like she's disrespecting the company. And she doesn't feel like she's disrespecting the company. I don't feel like she was disrespecting the company. She's been a fan of the WWE for a very long time. She says she was a fan as a child, and she's been to many wrestling events before she even got signed with the WWE. So I don't think that she disrespects the company at all. She even said in an interview that she feels like the WWE is a lot harder job than being in the UFC. So I don't feel like she disrespected the company at all. I just feel like that's Nia Jax's own insecurities with her, what's going on in her own career, that she's taken out on Ronda Rousey because all eyes are on Ronda at this point in time. And I mean, that's obviously going to happen. Ronda is going to have eyes on her because she's a big name, and she's, you know, she made the transition from UFC to WWE. Now, I think that what Ronda's doing is something, you know, honorable, to go from doing UFC to WWE. She didn't have to go to WWE and try to bring more attention to the women's division, which I feel like she definitely did bring more eyes to the women's division. Some people who were fans of her in the UFC started watching WWE because of the fact that she was going to be in it. So I don't feel like she brought anything bad to the women's division. And so I feel like Ronda shouldn't take it so seriously what Nia is saying to her, but I can understand her being the new girl. It is something uncomfortable, and you don't want to come off as disrespectful. So her husband ends up telling her that she has an opportunity to work with an apparel company, to have a clothing line of athletic wear. And she's a little bit skeptical about it because she was saying how she doesn't just want to slap her name on something and sell it just to make money. She said that she wants to do something that she actually enjoys doing. She doesn't want to do something just for money, and that she doesn't want to be another one of those people who just put their name on something just to make money, which I thought was really honorable about her. And something that I like about her, because there's a lot of celebrities now that are coming out with makeup brands, skincare products, clothing lines that they don't put any effort into. They just want to make money. And so they just slap their name on it. And just because they can, because of who they are. So I thought it was really nice to see that she didn't want to be another one of those people who did that. Carmella is in Dansbury, Connecticut at Corey's apartment, and he offers to take her out to breakfast, and she doesn't want to go to breakfast because she says that she just wants to stay inside. And he can tell that it's going to be difficult trying to get Carmella out the house because she's nervous to go out, and he just really wants to enjoy himself with her. He doesn't want them to stay stuck in the house all weekend. He wants to go out and enjoy himself with her and show her his hometown, but she doesn't want any parts of it. And so they end up ordering breakfast at the house. But then he ends up telling her he has something planned for them to do, for her to get dressed so they can go do it, and she really doesn't want to. And so he takes her to this chocolate shop, which I would have loved to go because I love chocolate. And so they go into the chocolate shop, and she's a little bit nervous, but she calms down a bit once she gets inside the chocolate shop because she realizes that there's literally nobody in there but the woman behind the counter. And so they have a good time in the chocolate shop. She picks out a bunch of chocolates that she wants, and as they're walking out of the chocolate shop, there's a woman with a phone recording them calling Carmella all types of homewreckers. And I thought that was like disgusting for somebody to do. It's like, first of all, it's not your business, it's not your problem, it's not your relationship, so why do you care? Like, I just don't understand why people get so overly invested in people's lives that have nothing to do with them at all. And to just call somebody a homewrecker and you don't even know both sides of the story, to me is just ridiculous to me. And so I thought that was disgusting. And so now I can understand even more why Carmella didn't want to go out anywhere. And so they go into the car and she literally looks like she's about to break down. And you could see the defeat all over Corey's face because he really tried to do something nice and he didn't expect that to happen. And then it did. And so he just feels like he's failing at making Carmella comfortable in their relationship. And so she tells him in the car that she just doesn't want to talk. She just wants to stay quiet for a few minutes because she needs to process what just happened to her. And so he has something else planned for her too. He took her to this dance studio for this little dance class for them to do because Carmella's been dancing her whole life and he knew it was something she would enjoy. So when they got in there, she was excited for it. But once again, as they're preparing to start dancing, there's a woman there from the local newspaper that tells them that she wants to put that they're there in the paper, and they both feel uncomfortable with that, which was really weird to me that somebody was there trying to put them in the newspaper. It's like, what? And so they told the lady that they didn't want to be put in the newspaper, that they just wanted to lay low. And so everything on this little trip for them is just not going well at all. First, they have somebody screaming homewrecker at them, and then they have this woman trying to put that they're there together in the newspaper. So it's just awkward at this point. Ronda and Travis go out to eat and they start talking about having children because they want to have a baby soon, and Ronda's trying to figure out what her life's going to be like after she stops wrestling in the WWE. And so they talk some more about this clothing line that this company wants her to be a part of. And she was saying how at this point in her life, she only wants to do things that make the two of them happy. She doesn't want to just do things just for the sake of money. And so they're planning on going to the company just to try it out and see how they like it. And so they end up going to the place to she gets to try on the clothes, see how everything fits. And she starts to realize that she actually does have a passion for it, because when she was fighting MMA, it was hard for her to find things to wear, gear to wear, that was comfortable, that fit properly. And so she felt like this was something that she could do. And so she decided that she's going to go ahead on and do the whole clothing line thing, which I think is good because, she knows what it's like to be a woman in sports and not have the proper attire to wear for those sports and to participate in them and feel comfortable and feel good in them. So I think that definitely is something that she could get into. The ladies show up to Pensacola, Florida, to the beach house that Trinity has rented, and Trinity went all out for the Iconics to try to make them feel comfortable. She got like this little statue of a kangaroo, which I thought was cute because like she was thinking about them. She was really trying to do something nice for them because they're homesick. And then her and Liv Morgan got these little flags and they put them all over the walls, and they thought that this was the Australian flag, but it's really the British flag. And so the Iconics come there and tell them that that's not the Australian flag. And so Trinity feels defeated already because she feels like she already failed at this trip. But the Iconics tell her that it was okay, that it was a thought that counts, and they all end up laughing it off, which I thought was funny. It's just like they got the British flag instead of the friggin' Australian flag. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with them? So the rest of the ladies end up showing up and they start making drinks, and the Iconics want absolutely no part of it. They don't want to drink because they don't drink, which is fine. You don't have to drink. I'm not a drinker either. I can only drink socially, like if I'm going out to eat or if we're actually going out for drinks. That's the only time I can drink. Otherwise, I really don't like it at all. So they could have still enjoyed themselves though without drinking, and they seemed like they weren't enjoying themselves at all. And so they end up cooking dinner at the house, eating and having a good time. And then they end up going into, I think, the limo or party bus or something. And they go somewhere. And the Iconics are not having fun at all. They want to go home. And so on the way to go pick up Charlie, they dropped the Iconics off at home. And I thought that the Iconics was being kind of annoying throughout this trip. I understand that they want to relax and that they don't drink and they don't party, but somebody set up something nice for you and you're making it seem like you just don't want to be there. And to me, it was just annoying to me. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way I do about it, but I just felt like they were being a little bit ungrateful, and I feel like they were being a little bit salty, because you don't have to drink to have a good time either. So I just thought they were kind of annoying me just a little bit. And so the Iconics go in the house and they're getting ready for bed, and the other ladies go out for drinks at the bar, and they are having the best time. They are so drunk. They are taking shots. They're dancing. Liv Morgan is drunk as hell, okay? Liv was twisted, okay? And she was telling all these guys to come to their house the next day for a party. And I was just like, what is this girl doing? She didn't rent this house out, but she's literally inviting people. And Nia Jax notices her inviting these guys to the house, and she feels uncomfortable with it because she's saying that, you know, Liv has no right to be inviting randoms to a house that she didn't pay for, which is true. But we'll see what ends up happening when all these guys end up showing up to the house. Corey has one more idea up his sleeve to make Carmella enjoy this few days that they have together in his hometown. And so he takes her out for dinner, and she looks completely defeated. She looks like she doesn't want to go. And she tells him to go inside the restaurant before her. So he goes into the restaurant before her, and somebody brings Carmella in, and there's a trail of red rose petals leading up to the private room that they have at the restaurant, which I thought was really cute. It's like he's really trying to make her happy and make her comfortable, which I thought was really sweet, because most guys would have gave up after the first incident happened where the lady was calling her a home wrecker outside of the chocolate shop. But he didn't stop. He kept trying, and I thought it was really sweet. And this was their actual first date together, which I thought was nice too. And so she sits down for dinner with him, and she realizes that she's been worried too much about what everybody else thinks about their relationships and everybody else's assumptions about the two of them. And she realizes that she's putting more stress on her relationship than needs to be, because Corey's not stressing out about it, but she is, which is understandable why she is, because she's the one who looks like the bad guy. She's the one who looks like the homewrecker, and she's the one who looks like, she wrecked the family. And so I can understand why she feels nervous about going public with their relationship, but she realizes that he's been trying so hard to make it special for her and to make her feel comfortable. And so she tells him that she no longer wants to act like that. She no longer wants to care what everybody else thinks about their relationship, and she's just going to let things flow, because they already have stressful careers, and she doesn't need to make it worse by stressing out about what everybody thinks about the two of them. It does get to you at some point, but at some point in your life, you have to realize that what everybody else thinks doesn't matter. It's what you know that matters. And so they end up eating dinner. They end up having a good time. And instead of them going out the restaurant separately, they end up walking out together hand in hand, where Carmella tells people on the way out that she's in love, which I thought was really cute. I think their relationship is cute. I know it's new and it's fresh, but it's really cute and nice to see that she's happy, because her relationship with Big Cass wasn't a good one. And so now she's happy, and that's a good thing to see. So it's the next day, and the Iconics end up waking up in the morning and telling Trinity that being in the beach house is too much for them, and they feel like it's best for them to go back to Orlando and leave the beach house in Pensacola. And so Trinity feels defeated. She feels like she failed at this trip, because she actually planned the trip for the Iconics, and now the Iconics not only didn't have a good time, but they're leaving earlier than they're supposed to. And so the Iconics end up leaving, and they apologize to Trinity for leaving early, which I thought they shouldn't have left early. I honestly think that they should have stuck it out. They could have at least waited, until later on in the night to leave. I felt like they were just, like, I understand they have stressful careers. They're on the road all the time, and they don't drink, they don't party, so they just kind of want to relax. But I feel like somebody's doing something nice for you, and you literally just kind of shitted on what she did for you. So I just felt like that didn't rub me the right way. Some people may think that I'm exaggerating it, but I just feel like them up and leaving when she planned that trip for them was wrong, because they acted salty the entire time they were there. Like, they didn't want to be there at all. And I just felt like that was like a little bit of, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And so The Iconics leave and a bunch of guys start showing up to the house, and they have kegs and alcohol with them and everything. And Trinity is just looking like she's in complete and utter shock. And so Liv ends up coming outside and telling them that she was drunk and she invited all those guys to the house, and so she's going to keep an eye on them so they don't destroy the house. And so Trinity is freaking out on the inside because she feels like there's going to be damages to this house and she's going to have to pay for it. And not only is she stressed about that, but she's upset that the Iconics left, so she already feels like it's a failed trip, and all these people showing up at the house is not making it any easier. And so throughout this little party that they're having, everybody's drinking and having a good time except for Trinity. And Naya's not really having a good time either because she's watching Trinity look so stressed out. And so at one point, Liv fills up this big, huge vase with beer, and she tries to walk it into the kitchen and tells the guys that they have to drink it if they lose the match or some shit. And she ends up slipping and falling on her butt, which I thought was funny. And then the vase falls on the floor, and the beer splashes on Charlie, and it literally pauses for a second right there. And I laughed so hard watching this scene because I thought it was really freaking funny that she slipped and fell like that, and the beer happened to spill all over Charlie. So Trinity gets upset, and she tells him that she wants to shut down the whole party. So in order to keep things going and not be stressful, Naya pulls Trinity aside, and she tells Trinity that she needs to relax and just enjoy herself. Don't stress out about things that she can't change. And so Trinity realizes that she's been spending so much time stressing out about this trip and making sure that everything goes right, that she hasn't enjoyed herself once, and that it was supposed to be a relaxing little vacation for them, and she made it stressful for herself. And so she decides to take Naya's advice, and she goes and joins the party with everybody else and has a good time for the rest of the trip. After the Pensacola trip, everyone goes back to work, and Naya realizes that she needs to take her own advice, the advice that she gave to Trinity. And so she pulls Ronda Rousey aside at Monday Night Raw, and she apologizes to her for the way that she reacted to the promo that she did. And she tells her that the reason why she took it out on Ronda is because the spotlight's on Ronda right now, and her own career is not going in the direction that she wants it to at the moment, and she's been getting criticized about her wrestling skills, and so that's been stressing her out, and she took it out on Ronda because the spotlight is on Ronda at the moment. And Ronda's completely understanding to it. She understands that the stress that these women in this business are under, and so I like that Ronda was really understanding to Naya and that she didn't flip out on her, because you would think, the way Ronda is when she fights, that she would just freak out on Ronda, but she didn't. She was understanding, she was calm with her, and I thought it was sweet. They ended up hugging each other, and the episode cut there. I thought this was a pretty good episode. I felt like this episode was about how we kind of create our own stress. You know what I'm saying? We kind of create our own stress sometimes, and we get too much in our heads, and then we end up caring too much about what other people think about us, and it affects our day-to-day lives. And I feel like we need to learn how to stop doing that, and we need to learn how to focus on ourselves and what makes us happy. And as long as we're not hurting anybody else in the process, I feel like it's fine to do what makes you happy. I feel like we shouldn't stress so much about what everybody else thinks, because everybody's different. Nobody's going to be completely the same. And I just feel like it's important for us to take time to relax and, just focus on ourselves. And self-care is really important. So if you're really stressed out and you feel overwhelmed, you need to take time to yourself to really just care for yourself. And so that's what I got out of this episode. I thought it was a really good episode. I want to know what you guys think about this episode down in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I would be reviewing more shows than just Total Divas. I've done Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop, Mixed Dish. I will be doing The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Jersey Shore, Family Vacation, and many more shows as they go. I actually want to do the 3 seasons of Stranger Things too. So, I'm trying to do a lot more shows. So thank you to all my subscribers for the support. I appreciate you guys oh so very much. You guys don't even understand how much I appreciate you guys. And once again, I will see you in my next video.